From Bonhour's Victory Grill in Auburn, Tiger Talk is on the air. Tiger Talk is presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Tweet questions at AU Sports Network or email aubtigertalk@gmail.com. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Alabama Power. At Alabama Power, we give 100% to achieve 99.9% dependability. Our commitment helps deliver power for a better Alabama. By Wind Creek Hotel and Casino, with 3 Alabama locations in Atmore, Montgomery, and Wetumpka. You can escape every day at Wind Creek Hotel and Casino and windcreekcasino.com. The Alabama Department of Public Health. Together, we can create the best opportunity to support health and well-being for all Alabamians. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/COVID-19. And by the simple southern goodness of Golden Flake, celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers. Now, the host of Tiger Talk, alongside Brad Law, here's the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham.
The gauntlet that is Auburn's football schedule begins in earnest Saturday afternoon as Penn State comes and becomes the first ever Big Ten team to visit Jordan-Hare Stadium. Good evening and War Eagle. With Brad Law, I'm Andy Burcham from Baumhauer's Victory Grill, and this is Tiger Talk presented by Alfa Insurance. We'll talk with each of the coordinators on the show tonight. First, defensive coordinator Jeff Schmedding is scheduled to be with us. We'll get his thoughts about the challenge of this Penn State offense. Offensive coordinator Eric Kiesau joins as well. We'll look ahead to this version of the Penn State defense. Special teams coordinator Bellantoni will be here tonight at Victory Grill, and we'll talk about the importance of special teams in a game as big as this one. Also, junior tailback Tank Bigsby set to join us tonight. An all-SEC pick. Of course, he has gone over 2,000 yards in his Auburn career. Our coverage on Saturday begins at 11:30 with the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage. Women's tennis at Virginia for the weekend. Cross-country runs in Huntsville tomorrow morning. Soccer opens SEC play at Missouri tomorrow night. Volleyball plays at Jacksonville State in the JSU Invitational as well throughout the weekend. Stay tuned. We're back with Jeff Schmedding as Tiger Talk presented by Alfa Insurance from Baumhauer's Victory Grill continues in a moment.
All right, everyone, let's hit the road.
Mom, who's this?
Oh, that's Michelle. She's our Alpha agent. She helped me file that auto claim fast after that accident last week, so I figured we'd bring her with us.
Breakfast burrito?
All right, 200 miles before we stop. I hope you've all used the bathroom. Michelle, you good?
Before a little thing becomes a big thing, call your Alpha agent.
We are the Auburn Tigers, but when we greet each other, we say War Eagle. It's unique to Auburn. It's our battle cry, a tradition that's important to us. War Eagle means you're always part of the Auburn family, no matter where you are. This is head coach Brian Harsin. War Eagle.
Drive home a Ford F-150 truck today and join our family. Visit your local Ford dealer and check out the official truck of the Auburn Tigers. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
The 2-minute warning, the caution flag, the 4. At PNC Bank, we believe in the power of a helpful watch out. That's why we created Low Cash Mode, the new financial watch out that gives you multiple options and at least 24 hours of extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Low Cash Mode on Virtual Wallet from PNC Bank. Available on all virtual wallet products. To learn more, visit pnc.com/lowcashmode. Copyright 2021, the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc. All rights reserved. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. That's it for today. Bud Light. Crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Things we take for granted, ordinary opportunities for parents and their children, can be a foster child's extraordinary. You have the power to do something positive that will change the life of a young person right here in Alabama. Open your heart and open your home to a foster child today. For more information, visit www.dhr.alabama.gov or call 1-866-64-AL-KIDS. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Submit questions by tweeting at AU Sports Network. Now back to Tiger Talk, presented by Alfa Insurance.
Welcome back to Baumhower's Victory Grill in Auburn with the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham. I'm Brad Law. We have a great crowd, a lively crowd. If this is any indication of what it's going to be, if this is anything what it's going to be like Saturday, it's going to be off the charts for Auburn and Penn State, 2:30 Central Time at Jordan-Hare. If you're coming in for the game, make sure you visit aotourism.com to find out what is going on in the area outside of the game itself, from the awesome amphibians and reptiles show at the Crayer Preserve and Nature Center tomorrow afternoon from 4:30 to 5:30.
That's on North College.
Yes, it is, on your way into town if you're
Right.
coming that way.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm used to going. Come home to the corner, downtown Auburn, Food Truck Friday, downtown Opelika, and a whole lot more. Visit aotourism.com. If you're making the trip in, you got to do your research ahead of time and find out what else you want to experience before the game Saturday.
Football friends and feathers.
Locker room tours.
Locker room tour.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
Right.
See the jerseys hanging up there. All right, let's welcome in
Here we go.
Auburn defensive coordinator Jeff Schmedding, his first appearance on Tiger Talk this season. Coach, welcome in, and War Eagle.
Thank you, War Eagle.
Awfully exciting time, obviously. It's different for the fans. How hard do you work to keep the weeks the same for the players and for the rest of that defensive coaching staff from one week to the next?
Yeah, I think you said it. You try to keep every week the same. And I think, we all follow the lead of Coach Harsin. He does a great job of just staying consistent through the week. Obviously we know the crowd, and we're excited about that. I mean, a great crowd here tonight, and we're expecting a great crowd on Saturday, and it's going to, I think the players are challenging them to break a noise record and all those things. But as far as the work goes, the work is the same. You have to keep it the same. You have a process, and you got to follow that process.
How much in getting ready for this game Saturday do you look back at last year's game? Because a lot of the personnel is the same coming back for Penn State.
Yeah, absolutely. You always look at your common opponent. Like if you played them the year before and they have the same staff, a lot of the same players, you have to dive into that. And one of the biggest things, in football and life is not making the same mistakes. So we're seeing how they attacked us, and certainly we do a lot of self-scout too, seeing where we have lined up certain ways, blitzes, things like that, and understand how they're going to attack us.
Let's go out to the audience here. If you have questions for Coach Schmedding or any of the other coaches tonight, just raise your hand, and Jacob will come to you with the wireless microphone. And I think we have Julie standing by, ready to go for question numero uno.
Coach, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
So the vast majority of your coaching experience was on the West Coast prior to coming here to Auburn. Would you say there's a difference in the way you coach West Coast players versus the Southeast players?
That's a great question. And I've actually been asked that a little bit. In the way you coach them, no, I think you have to be you, number one. I think, you can come to different places, and I've been to a few, whether it's West Coast or in the South. But I think if you're authentic in how you go about what you do, then you can build trust with the players. And that was the number one thing we talked about when we first came in. I told them I was going to give them my trust, and I had to earn theirs. But I think when you go into it and try to act different, if it's not you, eventually it'll come out.
Thank you, Julie. Go ahead, Jacob.
Tony, all the way from Anniston.
Hello, Calhoun County.
War Eagle, Coach.
War Eagle.
Got two questions. Can we play man-to-man on the receivers, and can we get pressure on that quarterback?
Hey, those are two things that we love to do. So, the answer is yes. And you try to mix up your coverages, man and zone, but a lot of times at the top of the zone it turns into man. So, we believe that we have a secondary that's on the rise, and we can we're going to mix it up, obviously, in those situations, especially, a team that they'll turn on the tempo and they'll do those things, look at the sideline and all that. But, I'm very confident in our front. There's no question on that. Okay, we have some really good players up there, but we always talk about this. You got to make them one-dimensional. So we talk about stopping the run first to earn the right to pressure and confuse the quarterback, and that's what we're trying to do.
How does their run game compare to a year ago, Coach?
It's early in the season, things like that, but I think it's very similar. They do have a stable of backs, and they have some veterans on the offensive line coming back. I think they do a great job, and one thing I think they're extremely well coached up front.
Yeah.
It won't be the biggest O-line we see, although it's very good, but they are very well coached. They understand what they're doing, how to do it, how to pass things off, how to pass stunts off. So I'm expecting a pretty good challenge there.
More coming up with Coach Jeff Schmedding, defensive coordinator for the Auburn Tigers. We can talk about those guys on defense who are making big plays here to start the season. We can talk matchups against Penn State. If you have questions, raise your hand here in the audience. Already a couple of folks are waiting on the other side of this timeout, and we want to get your questions on. You can also email them if you're not in attendance tonight. Email those to aubtigertalk@gmail.com, or you can tweet them at us at AU Sports Network. Tonight's show brought to you in part by Wind Creek Casino and Hotel with 3 Alabama locations in Atmore, Montgomery, and Wetumpka. You can escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and Hotel and at windcreekcasino.com. More Tiger Talk with Auburn defensive coordinator Jeff Schmedding straight ahead. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Be sure to collect a piece of Auburn history with the 2022 Auburn Football Yearbook. Get your copy for just $10 in and around Jordan-Hare Stadium on game days. Special features include senior spotlights, opponent profiles, and introduction from University President Chris Roberts, plus game day information. Look for digital game programs before every game, home and away. And buy the Auburn Football Yearbook for just $10 in and around Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Head down, he's in! Touchdown, Auburn!
The game has changed, and the future of Auburn athletics now demands a strong name, image, and likeness program. I'm Andy Burcham, and I urge you to support On to Victory, the name, image, and likeness collective for Auburn student athletes. Please take this opportunity to improve the lives of our players and give our teams the best chance of success. Learn more at ontovictory.com.
Hey, I'm Charles Barkley. Call for a Redmont and water at bars and restaurants throughout the great state of Alabama. Redmont Vodka, available at select ABC stores and package stores. Redmont Vodka is 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and is made from non-GMO corn. Looking to support a local business? Redmont Distilling is Alabama proud and minority owned. Learn more online at redmontdistilling.com.
Things we take for granted, ordinary opportunities for parents and their children, can be a foster child's extraordinary. You have the power to do something positive that will change the life of a young person right here in Alabama. Open your heart and open your home to a foster child today. For more information, visit www.dhr.alabama.gov or call 1-866-64-AL-KIDS. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
And we're back on Tiger Talk at Baumhower's Victory Grill. Brad Law, Andy Burcham, and another segment here with Auburn defensive coordinator Jeff Schmedding. We're still going to talk things over tonight with offensive coordinator Eric Kiesau, with Rock Bellantoni, who coordinates special teams and works with Auburn's edge rushers, and also Tank Bigsby, arguably the best running back in the SEC, will be with us before we're done here tonight. Before we go back to the audience and questions, I want to mention something with regard to pressuring the quarterback and quarterback sacks. Your guys have 4 of them this year, and a terrific partner of ours, Ascension St. Vincent's, is teamed up, and it's something that Coach Harsin cares quite a bit about. But they are donating $750 for every sack this year to buy PE equipment, playground equipment for local schools in an effort to battle childhood obesity. And so we appreciate our partners with Ascension St. Vincent's, and and know that that's something. Look, just another reason, another positive effect of pressuring the quarterback.
There's no question. That's a great cause, and it's a fun way to earn money.
That's exactly right. Let's go back to the audience now, and Herb is standing by.
War Eagle, Coach.
War Eagle.
This is related to the second question you got. How do we defend against those quick slants when we're trying to put pressure on the quarterback as well? Those are tough.
Yeah, there's no question, and really that comes down to fundamentals and technique. Whether it's zone or man, and obviously you refer to the man situations, but it's going to come down to one-on-ones across the board, and it's just work over time because the quick slant's one thing, but you can also get a fade ball right there, right? And so those guys are out on islands, and that's a really difficult position. There's no question. That's why you see in the NFL draft the kind of guys that go in the first round, because it's a unique skill set. There's no doubt about it. And I think it's just work over time. That's the bottom line. Our guys and Coach Etheridge does a great job with those guys, and I think they'll continue to grow through the season. And really the focus as we started fall camp was progress, and I do believe they're making progress.
They had Jahan Dotson last year, who's now doing pretty well in his first game in the NFL. Yeah. But boy, they've reloaded. I mean, at the wide receiver spot, haven't they?
Yeah, there's no question. I think very similar. I think they know what they want in that offense, very, very system-type offense, and I think they've plugged the pieces in there. There's no doubt about it. And, they're doing a good job utilizing them in very similar ways.
I want to talk about your corners, those guys who are going to have those one-on-one battles with the receivers. Last year it was Roger McCreary. Mm-hmm. Now he's doing awfully well in his NFL rookie season. Jalen Simpson and Nehemiah Pritchett and Keontae Scott, who's come in, and DJ James. I mean, there's some depth. There's some competition there. Just talk, if you would, about those guys and what you've seen from them through these first two games.
Yeah, and I think you just said it. Competition is the central theme of that room. And I think every day, they know they got to go out and compete. Obviously to get better, but they're moving up and down the depth charts daily. And Coach Etheridge, obviously has been here and been on a very successful team, and he turns up the heat in those rooms, and they respond well. So I'm excited about the room, and I'm excited about the competition. And the one thing is, you're seeing them grow as players and football knowledge. They're really seeking out, to understand all the little intricacies of their game.
Back to the audience. Go ahead, Jacob.
We've got Buster here.
Buster.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Hey, last year I went to Penn State, and the thing that stuck out to me about that game, and I hope this doesn't happen Saturday, is that we made that kid, that fifth-year guy last year, Clifford, look like an All-American because he sat back there for like 5 minutes each time and nickeled and dimed us all the way down the field. Have we got something to make that guy throw the ball a little quicker than he would like this year?
Well, yes, I would prefer not to have that happen either. So we're on the same page for sure. But, I think you do have to mix it up, absolutely. And, like I said, I like our front, and we certainly feel strongly about the game plan and the guys executing it. But, you have to mix it up. You have to mix up the game plan, and sometimes the shorter underneath throws are what you want, sometimes it's not. So we will mix that up, and our guys are hungry to get after the quarterback. I can promise you that.
This was a tough game for Owen a year ago. It was a game that he was hobbled after and probably never was completely healthy for the rest of the season. Zacoby, of course, missed part of the game with the targeting that probably shouldn't have been called. Just your thoughts about Owen getting ready for this game, and then the other guy back there, Cam Riley, who had such a good game in that start against Mercer with those 16 tackles in the opener. Yeah,
and obviously that position, I was fortunate to coach those guys last year, and they're in the middle of the defense. That's the heart of the defense, and Owen does a great job of preparing. And, we haven't really talked about this game as with the injury and all those things, but there's no question that he goes about his business like a pro. That's the bottom line. You can almost set your watch to what he's doing by the time of the day and day of the week. He is a very good structure. He has a very good structure in his preparation. And Cam Riley is a guy who's very talented. You see him making plays out there, and I think the best is yet to come for Cam Riley. The biggest thing with him, he did a great job this offseason really building up his body.
I guess, 20 pounds stronger
yes.
at this point.
There's no question, and that was really the goal. You know, he's always had the length and the size, but, I talked about like last year, there was still a little baby deer in him, and now he's grown up a little bit. So, but he attacked it. He had a plan, and he attacked it, and like I said, I believe the best is yet to come.
Absolutely.
What do you see when you look at Penn State's offensive line? You mentioned that they may not be the biggest just in terms of bulk and size that you face all year. What is their strength as an offensive line? What's the biggest challenge for your guys up front?
I think when you look at good offensive lines, they're like a machine. If they're what I consider a good offensive line, they're all playing together. They're like one heartbeat moving, and I do think they do that well. I think they stay on the same page. I think they communicate very well pre-snap. In the run game and the pass game. And so, that's the challenge. When you get some guys that are all working together, those front five, you've got to do a great job. You're not expecting them to make a lot of mistakes. You've got to go take it from them.
2:30 Saturday is the time, Central Time. We're on the air at 11:30. Biggest key, Coach, defensively for your guys controlling this Penn State offense?
Yeah, the biggest key we talk about is attacking the tempo. They're offense that likes to line up fast. If we can attack the tempo, we get our cleats in the dirt and eyes on the action, I think we're going to be in good shape.
Talk about, from your perspective, and I know it's a different perspective this year than it was last year because you were the linebackers coach last year, this year as a coordinator, the difference that Jordan-Hare Stadium can make in a game like this one on Saturday.
I can tell you right now I'm glad it's at home.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. I think it was, I was obviously new. We talked about that earlier last year, and I was told all about how Jordan-Hare Stadium could be and all those things. But when you're down there on the field, in the Iron Bowl and the Ole Miss game and things like that, I think we got the best atmosphere in college football, period.
Good point. And it needs to be this Saturday afternoon as well.
Loud.
Thank you for the visit tonight. We certainly appreciate it. Wish you all the best this Saturday.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you guys. War Eagle.
Tigers defensive coordinator Jeff Schmedding joining us tonight. Tonight's show brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A. All Chick-fil-A locations in Alabama proudly support the Auburn Tigers. When we come back, we'll switch to the offense. Eric Kiesau joins us next as Tiger Talk continues in a moment.
Putting together a winning drive
30 long from the shotgun.
Takes focus, determination.
There's the snap, dropping back.
And that powerful form of energy
scrambles to his right, looking downfield.
Called belief.
Launches it toward the end zone.
That belief in a team, in a community of fans, in each other.
Touchdown!
That powerful energy connects us all. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers. Power for a better Alabama.
From mobile banking to retirement planning to business loans, Trustmark is the bank that fits you to a T. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works. Member FDIC.
It's a great day for Auburn Tigers to get vaccinated. COVID and flu vaccines are an important tool to help stop the pandemic. The Alabama Department of Public Health is offering the COVID and flu vaccines to anyone 6 months and older. COVID and flu. The COVID and flu vaccines are safe, effective, and free. COVID and flu are still on the rise. Don't let COVID and flu stop you from supporting your favorite team. Continue to help protect yourself, your friends, and our campus by getting the COVID and flu vaccines. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Hey, I'm Charles Barkley. Call for a Redmont and water at bars and restaurants throughout the great state of Alabama. Redmont Vodka, available at select ABC stores and package stores. Redmont Vodka is 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and is made from non-GMO corn. Looking to support a local business? Redmont Distilling is Alabama proud and minority owned. Learn more online at redmontdistilling.com.
Working unsafely around underground utilities could put you at risk for outages, injury, and loss of life. Don't risk it. Alabama 811 plays a vital role in taking the request to have the underground utilities marked. It's free, it's simple, it's the law. Visit al811.com for more info.
Tiger fans, it's game day. Time to put on the team colors, set up the tailgate, and enjoy some football. Of course, no tailgate is complete without Golden Flake snacks. From our crispy potato chips, our light and airy pork skins, to our deliciously cheesy cheese puffs, you're certain to score big. So grab a bag of Golden Flake or any of our delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands. It's game time. Tailgate with Golden Flake, celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
Submit questions by tweeting at AU Sports Network. Now back to Tiger Talk, presented by Alfa Insurance.
Welcome back on Tiger Talk from Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Of course, Tiger Talk brought to you every week by Alfa Insurance, along with Brad Law. I'm Andy Burcham, Jacob Hillman out with the roving microphone. And please welcome Auburn offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach Eric Kiesau to Tiger Talk tonight.
Yes, indeed.
It's a big week.
It is a big week. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it.
Talk about just your prep for a game. And listen, they're all important. We understand, but I mean, this is a game a lot of folks they've been pointing to this game since a year ago, coach at Happy Valley.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I understand. I understand the importance of it, and I know everybody's kind of had this circle on their calendar for a long time. But I think for us, it's just about the progress and the improvement as we make throughout the year. So, you start from game 1 to game 2 and where you're at game 3, and that's really where we're at. You really can't make it a bigger, environment or scheme than it really is. You just have to kind of be in the moment and understand we're building long term.
How much of a standard practice, a standard Tuesday or Wednesday practice, is spent working on technique versus game plan at this point as you go into week 3 of the season?
No, great question. So spring ball and really the offseason, when you do a lot of technique stuff, a lot of technique work. Now we're kind of getting into game planning, so we need some more work on just the plays we're going to run. It's the details of what you're doing, not just how you're doing it, but the details of what you're doing. And that's what we spend a lot more time on in these team environments. So we do that to make sure we can execute on Saturday.
All right. To the crowd we go. Go ahead, Jacob.
Here is Herb.
War Eagle, Coach.
War Eagle.
Sort of related to what Brad asked you, seemed like a lot of our problems last week were focus. And I guess my question is, was there focus on focus this week?
It's actually unbelievable you use that word. That was the word I used all week long. On Tuesdays, we have these unit meetings with the entire offense. I sit in front of them, I kind of talk to them. And Tuesday, that was the message. Wednesday, that was the message. And that's going to be my message on Friday night for the game. Because that's what it's all about. It's about focus, being in focus and intentional on what you're doing, the details of what you're doing. And that's really, really important because, as you know, in a game like this, the grand stage, the TV, the fans, you can kind of get lost a little bit, but you got to keep your focus on exactly what the task is. And that's what I try to do all week long, is kind of keep them focused.
You were telling us a story about when you played, and your dad kind of put in perspective, because it was a 9,000-seat stadium. Your dad told you there's going to be 18,000 eyes on you.
Yeah.
There'll be a couple more this Saturday. And for some of the new guys, this is their first look at this kind of atmosphere at Jordan-Hare Stadium. How do you approach that as an offensive coordinator, and for that matter, in the quarterback room for a guy like Robbie Ashford? This will be his first chance to see what this atmosphere is like at Jordan-Hare Stadium with a big-time opponent in town.
I think it's really important as the offensive coordinator, you have to paint the pictures for the players. You have to kind of let them know what's coming. Because if you talk scheme all week long and then you get to the game and the environment's so big and the crowd's going crazy and it's a great environment at Jordan-Hare Stadium, you have to kind of get them ready for what we're about to do. So the X's and O's and the execution of what we're doing is important, but you also have to talk about this, like I said, the environment, who you're around, and I think that's really important moving forward.
Offensive coordinator Eric Kiesau with us here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill for Tiger Talk tonight. And Kevin is watching on Facebook. Hi, Kevin. He's watching in Wilmer, Alabama. Wants to know about the quarterback's running ability and the difference that makes. I mean, we've seen what Robbie Ashford has been able to do and the spark that he's given at times. And we even saw TJ score on his own read keeper. So the quarterback's running ability, particularly against an aggressive Penn State defense.
Yeah, well, when you have two styles of quarterback, TJ more the pro style, drop back type of guy, what you need. And they have Robbie who can kind of run in there and be kind of your third running back, so to speak. It makes really difficult for the defense coordinator to defend. What kind of defense is going to do when TJ's in there versus when Robbie's in there? Because Robbie gives you an element that that really is we call it ungame plan yards. Like you're game planning, but you don't get those yards because he can pull the ball down and go. So I think it's really important to use Robbie in the right way, and we're going to use him in more than just a running capacity. That was kind of his niche and his role in the first 2 games, but now we have to kind of expand his horizons here in the quarterback position.
All right, back to the audience. Go ahead, Jacob.
We've got Julie.
Coach, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
I'm going to switch gears on you a little bit. As it was the case with Coach Schmedding, you've spent a lot of time on the West Coast. So what's your favorite thing about Auburn? Not football, but the university and or the city of?
Great question. I've been at a lot of universities over my career, 25 years of coaching, been everywhere. There's something about Auburn. So everywhere you go, every school you touch, they say, oh, the people's great, And it's kind of like just, it's jargon. It's just kind of out there, it's kind of fluff. Here at Auburn, when you talk about the people, it is real. It is real. And I really mean that. I really do. It's if I go to airports, I get a War Eagle. If I go back home on the West Coast, it's a War Eagle. They're everywhere. Here's a story for you. I'm recruiting, going in. I'll go quick. There's a story going around.
Take your time.
Yeah, going through, and we're going through a school, and I'm seeing the kid had no idea about the other people in the school. But I did know the coach had a tie to Auburn. So I kind of talked a little bit to Auburn, and immediately, boom, the coach stands up. He's like, do you have a couple minutes? I'm like, sure, got a couple minutes. He walked me around to the secretary, to the librarian, to the biology teacher. Everybody had ties to Auburn. It was unbelievable, and they were so genuine and so just compassionate about, like, it's just Auburn there. Can I give you a hug? I'm like, okay, it's COVID. Kind of no, but you can. But anyway, you get my point. It was just really genuine, very real. Wasn't kind of, coaches speak, so to speak, and but it was good. So there's a very genuine vibe about Auburn football all over the country, not just here.
It wasn't fluff.
It was not fluff at all. No,
it was real. Like a big, strong oak. The roots run awfully deep.
That's right.
You didn't wind up playing any video games on that visit, did you?
No, not that one. No.
Okay.
I'm telling you guys all these stories. You kind of you bust them right out. I love it. I love it.
Well, now that would everybody who listened to the Huddle with Harsh podcast heard the story.
They got it.
You played video game. What video game was it? Do you remember?
It was Madden football.
It was Madden?
Okay. Yep. Right.
Did you win or did you let him win?
Oh, no. Well, I wasn't very good. I just did to kind of kill time, but yeah, he won.
Okay. All right,
yeah,
he won.
Sure.
All right, if you've got questions for Coach Kiesau, one more segment with the Auburn offensive coordinator here at Tiger Talk from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. Raise your hand. Jacob will come to you with a microphone. You can tweet us. You can email us, aubtigertalk@gmail.com, or you can leave your questions in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. Lots going on. Busy night. More Tiger Talk straight ahead. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Check out the Talking Tigers podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. The Talking Tigers podcast is a series of one-on-one interviews hosted by the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham. Each week, Andy is joined by a featured guest with Auburn ties from athletics, entertainment, and other walks of life. Past legends and present trailblazers, insightful and entertaining. It's the Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham. Like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts today.
It's a great day for Auburn Tigers to get vaccinated. COVID and flu vaccines are an important tool to help stop the pandemic. The Alabama Department of Public Health is offering the COVID and flu vaccines to anyone 6 months and older. COVID and flu. The COVID and flu vaccines are safe, effective, and free. COVID and flu are still on the rise. Don't let COVID and flu stop you from supporting your favorite team. Continue to help protect yourself, your friends, and our campus by getting the COVID and flu vaccines. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Putting together a winning drive
30 long from the shotgun.
takes focus, determination,
There's the snap, dropping back.
and that powerful form of energy
Scrambles to his right, looking downfield.
called belief.
Launches it toward the end zone.
That belief in a team, in a community of fans, in each other.
Touchdown!
That powerful energy connects us all. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers. Power for a better Alabama.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. And that's it for today. Bud Light. Crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back. An electric night at Tiger Talk. This crowd is fired up. I'm getting texts from people, including my wife, who texted and said, you can tell there's a ton of people and that they're fired up just from the background. Just tuning in for a second, you know that something special is going on.
I will also say this. I've already seen Penn State folks on campus today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, there's no question.
Yeah.
This is a national spotlight game, and the energy will be appropriate for that. One more segment here with Auburn offensive coordinator Eric Kiesau. We remind you to come to AL.com for all you need to know about college football. They have their weekly shows, Head-to-Head and SEC Insider. They look around to every week's game, and they do that with former Auburn players. AL.com is the place for deep pre- and post-game coverage. AL.com for everything Auburn fans need to know. Coach, we go back to the audience now. Jacob is standing by. Another question from the crowd.
There's Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
War Eagle, Coach.
War Eagle.
I think Andy said some Penn State fans already here. We're going to be nice to them until about 6 o'clock Saturday evening, and we're going to send them back with tears. But anyway.
I love it.
Coach, I want to ask you, is it predetermined how much you're going to run or pass during the game? But it all determines on the flow of the game.
Yeah, great question. You know, we have a plan kind of set up on how we want to approach the game. But like you said, as the game goes and how the flow of the game goes, if someone gets hot, we let them go. So, yes, you know, we want to do our thing on offense for sure. But as a coach, whoever's hot, whoever's got going, tank gets rolling, whoever gets going, let's keep feeding them. So, and we have a lot, if you ever watch our games, we have a lot of guys in and out of the game. We have guys substituting all the time, receivers, running backs, tight ends, they're all going. So it's about getting the right guys on the field and then in position to make plays. And then, yes, we can do that based on what we're seeing by the defense.
Thank you for the question, Thaddeus. All right, how about a scout on this Penn State defense, Coach?
Penn State defense is really good. They're obviously the best defense we've seen this year. They're very talented up front. Their D-line is really, really good. I don't want to call it numbers, but there's also another player on their secondary that's probably a first-round draft pick, and we have to approach that accordingly. But I think we have to kind of establish – we really can't worry too much about what they're doing. You have to kind of acknowledge where those people are at, but it's more about our operation, how we operate, how we focus, and how we execute the game plan, really.
We asked Coach Schmedding about this. I mean, a year ago, you guys were able to run against Penn State. Tank had a nice game, over 100 yards and a couple touchdowns. How much does that enter your mind as you're scheming and scripting and getting ready for this one Saturday afternoon?
There's no doubt, and you're 100% right. And you do watch last year's game, you do, but it's different people. It's obviously a different team, and I get all that. But yes, our strength, what we do, is going to be running the football and how effective we are doing that, which I think is important. And we can kind of set the tone. I talked to the offense all week this week about setting the tone through the run game, how we come off the O-line, how the running backs hit the holes. And when you have a chance to run someone over, how do you do it? It's not what you're doing, it's how you do it. And I think that's important in the running game because you have to set that physical mentality up front.
And in the running game, Coach, it's not necessarily always about who is doing it. We've seen Jarquez Hunter score 4 times on 16 carries. Damari Alston popped one of the big runs in the ball game against San Jose State. And we've seen TJ and Robbie with their legs, as we've talked about. So having sort of depth and versatility in the running game pays off.
Well, you hit it. It's the versatility. As a defense coordinator, how do you defend us? You want to load the blocks and stop Tank? Well, then we're going to not block one and read the edge. And here goes Robbie off the edge. You want to play soft? We'll give it to Tank and run up the middle. You're going to play soft? We'll throw the ball outside. So it's really kind of a chess match between the offense coordinator and the defense coordinator, which actually I love. I love that part of the game moving forward, which is really good for us.
If you see Penn State come up and put an extra guy in the box right off the bat, how do you combat that Saturday afternoon?
Do I have to give secrets away on the?
No,
I'm joking. I'm joking. Well, you know, like I said, you do some zone read with a guy like Robbie, who you don't block one defender and you read him, or you try to get good protection and kind of throw the ball outside. Because if you're going to load the box with 7 defenders, you'll be one-on-one on the outside, and that's why you have to create mismatches with guys like Shank and Shed and those guys that we can kind of get open in the outside.
Who have you seen emerge from that wide receiver room in the first 2 ball games?
You know, Shed, really. Shedrick Jackson, I love the guy. He's been here a long time. He's doing a really good job. And I think the other guy that's kind of the unwritten, kind of storyline that really no one really talks about is Barr, number 6. He's a great player.
Yeah.
He probably has, I don't know offhand, but he might have the most explosive plays on offense, kind of moving forward, because he's just kind of sneaky, kind of a little guy, kind of sneaks in there, and you don't really sit, and then boom, he hits a big play, and it's good for the Auburn Tigers.
Terry has a question via email, aubtigertalk@gmail.com. First afternoon game after a couple of night games, does the preparation change at all throughout the week? I know the game days affected a little bit, just the game day schedule, but is the preparation during the week affected at all?
No, not at all. Yeah. The game day atmosphere and the time we wake up, time we have breakfast, time we do walkthroughs, that will kind of speed up to an earlier time. But other than that, the entire week of preparation is the same.
All right, keys, Coach, before we let you go, offensively against this Penn State team Saturday.
Other than focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the big one. We have to stay focused on what we're doing. I really mean that. And that's because, like I said, the schemes, they're there. The players, they're there. It's how we execute these schemes. And we have to run the football. We got to make sure they kind of come up, get Tank going, get Jarquez going, get these guys going, get Robbie going. And then once they want to kind of close in, kind of close the gap on the run game, then we have to make plays outside. Now, they're very aggressive. They're a very good defense. There's no doubt about it. This is probably the best defensive front we see up front, and we have to protect those guys. And I'll tell you what, I am so excited for this challenge we have in front of us for Auburn football and our players, because they've done a good job kind of building from game 1 to game 2 this week of preparation, probably the best week we've had since I've been here this season. And I'm excited to kind of see what happens on Saturday afternoon. I really am.
So are we. Can't wait to see you there on Saturday.
It's going to be good.
War Eagle, thank you.
War Eagle, yeah, thank you.
Auburn offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach Eric Kiesau joining us. Stay tuned. Tiger Talk from Baumhauer's Victory Grill, presented by Alfa Insurance, continues in a moment.
Communities don't just happen. They're built by people. From the big moments to the small acts of kindness. It's the authentic connections we make that define us. At Alfa Insurance, we know that every day you're building things that are worth protecting. Because for us, this is more than coverage. It's who we are. Alfa Insurance, building tomorrow together.
Excitement is in the air at Kia of Auburn. Mascots, marching bands, historic rivals, and school chants. Football season is finally here. Kia of Auburn is proud to be a supporter of Auburn Tiger football and athletes. And no matter what team you pull for, you'll always be a winner in a new Kia from Kia of Auburn. SUVs, sedans, sports cars, hybrids, or electric. We have them all. Our sales and service teams are here to serve you. Stop in person or online at KiaofAuburn.com. Kia of Auburn, where you are always number one.
Campbell under center. Campbell's going to throw on the play action into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown!
Hi, this is Jason Campbell. The game has changed. The future of Auburn athletics demands a strong name, image, and likeness collective. That's On to Victory, the NIL collective for Auburn student athletes. I urge you to support On to Victory. You can improve the lives of our players and give our teams the best chance for success. Learn more at ontovictory.com.
By now, your daily routine is probably a little too routine. Don't you want to change? Don't you want to start playing by your own rules and escape the routine so your fantasy becomes reality? Where every night is an adventure, where new flavors are ready to be tasted, where it feels like you're a winner. Take a chance. Reward yourself. Make your routine anything but routine. Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and WindCreekCasino.com.
This is the Auburn Sports Network, and you're listening to Tiger Talk. Back to Brad and Andy.
And we're glad to have you with us tonight. It's a raucous night at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Getting ready for Auburn Penn State. Saturday at 2:30. Our coverage begins at 11:30 with the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Kaneka Sausage. Joining us now, Auburn Edge and Special Teams Coordinator, Rock Bellantoni.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's awesome.
Let's talk first about how you got connected with Coach Harsin and what brought you to the Plains.
Yeah, that's a long story. It would take about 2 days to tell it. But I didn't really know anybody on staff other than Bodie Reeder. I'd coached Bodie in college, then he was a GA for me, and Bodie got a job here. And Coach Schmedding and I had crossed paths when I was a D coordinator at Washington State. He was at Boise, and we shared notes on an opponent. And that's really the only connection I had with the staff. So I got very lucky. Bodie helped me out a lot, big time, and I owe him a lot for that.
How much time management has to be an enormous factor for someone that coaches not only position but also a coordinator, and for something as involved as special teams.
Yeah, you have to be organized. You have to be on top of your stuff. You get in a routine. This time of the year, it's like wake up at the same time, go to bed at the same time, go in, do the same thing you did last Sunday, last Monday.
Amen, brother.
I try to knock out as much special teams as I can on Sunday and Monday morning, so that then I can help Coach Schmed with the defensive game plan. And after that, so you try to knock it all out as much as you can, and then you move on to the defense. And then you have to have practice, you have to plan practice, and then you have to move on, you have to recruit, and we got a lot of things going on. So busy is good.
It is.
There are a lot of, obviously you got 11 guys out there on the field for every special teams play, just like any other play, but when you have a couple of guys in Oscar Chapman and Anders Carlson who have the kind of experience and who can provide leadership there, how much does that help as you think about how to organize and then carry out practice?
No doubt. We sleep a lot better at night with those two guys, right? And then Quattlebaum at snapper. Very, very blessed to have some really good specialists. Then Alex McPherson, another kicker who's very good. Evan McGuire, very good kickoff guy. Like we have some depth, which most teams don't. And then, Oscar's great punter. We have 3 quality long snappers. Very lucky to have the people we do here, which you should have at Auburn.
Let's go back to the crowd here. Julie has another question.
Coach, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
So you coach the edge linebackers and you coach the special teams.
Yes, ma'am.
To us fans, those seem like a very different group of guys. Okay? How's your coaching style? Do you switch gears from one to the other? What do you do when you're coaching the two different ones?
Yeah, unfortunately for the kickers and the punters, no, I don't switch gears. I probably don't coach them like most kicking coaches would coach them. They get coached like the edge guys, and I think they enjoy that. They get it's a little more intense than it would be for a normal kicking coach. So it's hard for me to change hats. But you have to be more positive. You have to make sure, hey, if they miss the last one, I'm just going to tell them to hit the next one. I don't know all the ins and outs of the way they kick the ball. And so, you just got to wear different hats and be organized in that respect.
What is Auburn and your philosophy with regard to who you're using on special teams, regardless of if they're an every play kind of guy? How do you handle it? How do you form those, especially the coverage guys out there?
That's a great question. Really good question. We have to play the best players we can possibly play. We play in the greatest conference in college football. A couple of years ago, one of those other teams had the Heisman Trophy winner run down on punts. He was a gunner. On kickoff, he was on kickoff, and he was the punt returner. Your best players have to play special teams. So now I'm not stupid also. We have to limit some of them in their roles so they don't get too worn out and risk injury. But, a true starter that's playing most of the game, if he's on 1 or 2 units, that's a lot. Then there's some other guys that may be a part-time player that can play on all 4 units, or a backup who's going to really value his role and give us all he has on those units. That will be one of our core guys and can run down on.
Well, and here's an example. Your special teams player of the week against Mercer was Jarquez Hunter.
No doubt. Yeah, he's not too bad. He's pretty good at football.
He is.
As kind of a piggyback to that question, at this point, at this level, how often are you having to go to guys and say, look, we need you on special teams, we need you on this unit, versus guys saying, I want to get on the field. Put me on the field. Can I play on special teams?
There's no shortage of either. There's a lot of backups that really want to play and they want to find a role, so they come to me about that. But it's not only to help our football team, but to help them in the future. If they have a chance to play in the NFL, 9 times out of 10, the best way they have a chance to make the team is playing special teams. So I want to help them get experience now, so when they go to the NFL, they have a chance to make it.
All right, back to the audience. Herb has a question.
War Eagle, Coach.
War Eagle.
Not thinking about the kickers, but the returners this time. That's very important, too. They can make or break a game with decisions they make and that sort of thing. What do you do to get them right?
Yeah, we have a returner meeting every week. On Wednesdays, they'll go meet with Coach Harsin and Coach Cadillac Williams, who is a really good returner himself. So we'll have a one-on-one meeting with that group where they go through some of the kick return and punt return. We show them decisions from other teams that may have made bad decisions to try to prevent those things from happening. And then we coach them every day in the meeting. You have to have your most talented guys like Jarquez can return, Mighty can return, Keontae has been a pleasant surprise. VAR has been good this year. We have a lot of good returners, so it's about getting the best guy out there right now.
Real quick, Coach, if we can talk about edge, just the importance of those guys getting pressure on Sean Clifford on Saturday.
Yeah, that's one of the keys to our defense is how they play, right? If we get after the passer at that position, we'll be a lot better defense. The DBs don't have to cover as long. We've got to get after the quarterback. The first couple of games, the ball's been coming out quick. There's been a lot of screens. But when we have had some drop-back opportunities to rush the passer, I think we've been doing a pretty good job. We just got to keep getting better every week.
Coach, thank you very much for
thanks
coming
for
out and being a part of the
Appreciate
show.
it.
War
Thank
Eagle.
you. War Eagle.
Rock Bellantoni, special teams coach, coaches Auburn's edge rushers, joining us here on Tiger Talk tonight. Man, we're having a good time, and time is flying. Last segment of the show is next. We'll be joined by Tank Bigsby up here on the stage. Stay tuned. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Keep your game day going with the Auburn Sports Network and the Outdoor Alabama Countdown to Kickoff. 1 hour before game time, our crew comes to you live from the broadcast booth to break down the matchups, plus interviews with players, coordinators, and our exclusive pregame conversation with Brian Harsin. Then, starting lineups, keys to the game, and final thoughts before kickoff, starting 1 hour before game time. It's the Outdoor Alabama Countdown to Kickoff on the Auburn Sports Network.
Tiger fans, it's game day. Time to put on the team colors, set up the tailgate, and enjoy some football. Of course, no tailgate is complete without Golden Flake snacks. From our crispy potato chips, our light and airy pork skins, to our deliciously cheesy cheese puffs, you're certain to score big. So grab a bag of Golden Flake or any of our delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands. It's game time. Tailgate with Golden Flake, celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
The 2-minute warning, the caution flag, the 4. At PNC Bank, we believe in the power of a helpful watch out. That's why we created Low Cash Mode, the new financial watch out that gives you multiple options and at least 24 hours of extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Low Cash Mode on Virtual Wallet from PNC Bank. Available on all virtual wallet products. To learn more, visit pnc.com/lowcashmode. Copyright 2021, the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc. All rights reserved. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
AuburnTigers.com is the official website of Auburn Athletics. Read the latest feature stories on your favorite Tiger teams. Get critical game day info. Search videos and audio. Find how to get connected through social and digital media or by joining Tigers Unlimited. Shop the AU Photo Store or just find the next event on the athletic calendar. Plus, all athletics broadcasts are streamed free at AuburnTigers.com/watch. AuburnTigers.com, the official online home of Auburn Athletics.
Welcome back on Tiger Talk from Baumheyer's Victory Grill, presented by Alfa Insurance. I'd like to think that all of these cameras that are out right now taking pictures of the front desk here is Brad and I, but we all know it's not. It's because Tank Bigsby is with us tonight on Tiger Talk.
That's got to make you feel good to see the passion from some in the Auburn family that are here, and to know that on Saturday that's ratcheted up about 1,000 levels more.
Right, it do. It's so exciting. I'm so thankful for you guys.
Give us an idea of what it is like to walk on that playing surface, Pat Dye Field, on a big game Saturday. And it's 87,000 of your closest friends and a couple that'll probably be from Pennsylvania up there. But for the most part, they're there rooting on the orange and blue on Saturday.
It's an unexplainable feeling. Walking on the field, it's a feeling that you can't explain. You just see all the people that come out to support you. You going out there playing with your brothers. It's just an unexplainable feeling. It's a blessing and it's a grateful opportunity. Just thankful for the guys that be out there. Thankful for the fans that be out there. Just when you step on that field and look around, it gives you chills. It's a feeling you can't explain.
Yeah. Let's go out to the audience. Jacob, I believe we have Buster with a question for Tank.
Tank, I really admire your running style. And I like the way you slash. You remind me of your coach, Cadillac. You kind of slash like that. I like that.
Yes, sir.
What's the hardest thing for you as opposed to high school to college? Is it blocking the blitzing linebacker that you didn't have to do in high school? Seems like that's what most Freshman, you're not a freshman, but when you got here, that was the hardest thing from high school. You never had to block anybody.
Yes, sir. Well, it wasn't quite hard. It was a challenge, coming up, doing new things in the game instead of just running the ball. It wasn't so hard, having a coach like Cadillac Williams just get me ready for things like that, teaching me technique-wise. He does a great job with that. So he has us ready, and he prepares us ready. So when we go out there, we're pretty ready.
Tank, talk, if you would, about your relationship with Coach Cadillac. He has talked about getting into coaching and the relationships that he's formed and relationships that he has with his previous coaches. That you two share a pretty strong bond, don't you?
Yes, sir. Coach Lack, he's a great guy. He's a great coach. He's a guy off the field and a great coach. So, he prepares you for life and on the field things. He have you ready for situations.
Back out to the audience. Jacob, who do we have?
We have Matthew.
Matthew.
It's not allowed in college football, but what would be your go-to touchdown celebration?
Well, I probably would jump in the stadium with the fans.
A leap? A Jordan Hare leap?
A Jordan Hare leap,
I like that.
But I don't want to get a flag,
Yeah, got to hold off a little while anyway for that. All right, back to the audience.
This is Tony.
Tony.
Tank, I know you probably heard of the Go Crazy Cadillac, Go Crazy.
Uh-huh.
Well, I just feel like saying to you, Tank, go crazy, baby, go crazy.
Saturday would not be a bad day to go crazy, would it?
It's going to be a great day to go crazy.
Your thoughts about playing your memories of playing up there a year ago?
Well, it was a great atmosphere, but I still don't think they fans are better than our fans. And
right.
It's all hype up there, they fans and all that. But I feel like we way better, and I know the energy we're gonna bring Saturday is gonna be way better than what they gave us.
You are not shy about challenge, and I know other players have done the same thing. They've issued a challenge to the fan base, make it louder than it's ever been at Jordan Hare.
Exactly. Well, my challenge for the Auburn fans, and I know y'all guys challenge us to come out and play our best ball, but my challenge is to you guys, just stick with us and play throughout the whole game, and I need you guys to be as loud as you ever been.
I think they're up for the challenge.
Yeah, that's a good challenge.
Yeah.
I like it.
No doubt. Got about a minute or so left. Tank, talk about the preparation this week and what you see when you watch this Penn State defense on film.
They got a good defense. They blitz a lot, some guys back. A lot of guys went to the league last year, but it's gonna be a physical game. But I feel like we're the better team. I feel like we got the better coaches. We have the better prep. So we're gonna come out on top and beat these guys.
Coach Kiesau talked about it. Focus is huge for a game like this one on Saturday.
Yes, sir, it is. Just having that focus and focusing in on what you have to do as your job and not worry about everybody else's job. Just go in and focus on your job. It's the biggest thing, and I feel like that's what we're going to do. And this team, I feel real good about us.
Good. We do too.
Tank, thanks very much for making us part of your night.
War Eagle.
War Eagle. Tank Bigsby, best running back in the SEC, joining us here on Tiger Talk tonight from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn. We are so grateful to the staff and the management here at Baumhauer's. They, they're going to treat you like royalty when you come here. If you can't make it to the game, get by here on game day and watch it at Baumhauer's.
Yeah. Have your watch party here if you're not there.
How about 11:30 Saturday? Tremendous Tiger tailgate show coming everybody's way.
I've forgotten who we have.
Wes Byram.
Yes.
Carlos Dansby.
Him.
Ben Obamanu.
T.D.
Moultrie. Maybe a certain round mound of rebound as well.
Really?
Stopping by. Hey, did you know that the same people who installed the sound system at Jordan Hare run the sound each game, also available for your special event? That's Auburn AV, and they can handle any size event. Visit auburnav.com to see their audio-video solutions. Any final thoughts in 30 seconds or less?
Cannot wait for Saturday. Cannot wait for Saturday.
Absolutely tremendous.
Yeah.
That's the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham. General manager of the Auburn Sports Network is Ben Harling. Our producer on site here, Jacob Hillman. Engineer, Tim Walker. Back in our Skyview Auburn Sports Network studios, it's Anthony Lowe.
Tony!
For Eric Kiesau, Jeff Schmedding, Rock Bellantoni, and Tank Bigsby. And for the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, I'm Brad Law. Thanks for listening to Tiger Talk, presented by Alfa Insurance on the Auburn Sports Network.
You've been listening to Tiger Talk, presented by Alfa Insurance. Auto, home, life, business. Alfa Insurance covers it all. AlfaInsurance.com. Tonight's show has also been brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health. Together, we can create the best opportunity to support health and well-being for all Alabamians. By the simple Southern goodness of Golden Flake, celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers. Alabama Power. At Alabama Power, we give 100% to achieve 99.9% dependability. Our commitment helps deliver power for a better Alabama. And by Wind Creek Hotel and Casino. With 3 Alabama locations in Atmore, Montgomery, and Wetumpka, you can escape every day at Wind Creek Hotel and Casino and WindCreekCasino.com. Tiger Talk is an exclusive presentation of the Auburn Sports Network, a division of Playfly Sports.